How many times have you failed at something that you were trying? You thought it might have, you thought it was important to you, and you tried a few times, and then you're like, you know what? I keep failing. I am going to give up. So I fail constantly at different things, but I don't stop just because I failed. A lot of times you will see me here on this channel trying to learn some type of technology. Maybe it might be something that I know, but it's not working for some reason. Just the other day, and this is primarily the reason that I'm making this video, right? Just the other day, we were on the ethical hacking live stream, and all of a sudden, my Kali Linux machine just stopped working on me. And I was like, what in the world is going on here? Why is this not working? Well, after like I was like I did some investigation, couldn't find anything substantial to figure it out on the stream, and it was like right at the end of the stream. We did some troubleshooting, nothing stood out, and I was like, all right, well, whatever, we'll figure this out next week. If anything, we can just redo the whole entire. We can redo the whole entire installation. But then after the stream, I was thinking about it the next day. I'm like, let me do some more investigation, right? Whenever I think one of the biggest problems is that when we fail, we don't look into what caused us to fail. We don't analyze data. We just like walk away all disappointed and sad and with our heads down. We're like, I don't know what to do. I'm feeling so sad. All right. But I think that with failure, it is a great opportunity to analyze data. So welcome to another episode of Candid Conversations, hosted by your truly Techo Draft, where we are your twin. In today's episode, I want to talk to you about failure and why I totally embrace failure, and I actually love failure because when I fail, it gives me the opportunity to grow and to expand. If I don't get all down and out over it, right? I see every failure is an opportunity for growth. So let's talk about it real quick. I don't want to be here for too long, but I want to talk about this with you to help you change your mindset, to help you shift your mindset on why I believe that you should embrace and enjoy failure. Of course, everybody wants to win, but a lot of times there can only be one winner. If you're in some type of competition or something, there's going to be one winner. But in all of my jiu-jitsu competitions, right, I've seen so many people when they lose, they get absolutely upset. They're so mad with themselves. And I understand it because or we should be competitive people trying to just outlast the other person, trying to score more than the other person. But for me, and maybe that's a problem with me, but whenever I have lost a jiu-jitsu competition, for instance, or anything else, like if I'm on a live stream and something is not working, I can't figure it out, I don't cry over spilled milk because one thing that I always think about is that I put it all out there on the line. I got out there to do something, and I might have not gotten the results that I was necessarily looking for, but I still went out there and did what I could. And then I say, all right, well, now based on the results that I got, even whether win or lose, based on the results that I got, let me see what went well. The same thing that we do in a sprint retrospective. What went well, what didn't go well, and how can I improve on something? And I think it's important like to have that retrospective mindset because that is where all the growth is going to come from. David Goggins said, when he fails, he doesn't see it as failure. He sees it as an attempt, right? And some of us, we've attempted things many times. But like when you continue to try to work at a meaningful goal, the goal is to eventually succeed, and we need to measure our progress. I've had so many conversations with the people that I train with in jiu-jitsu where they might feel like, oh, I'm at a plateau, I'm not moving forward, nothing's happening. And I have to one of the examples that I broke it down to somebody was that, look, when you are climbing a mountain, right, you're going to eventually get to, and maybe not a mountain in particular, but if you're climbing something, right, if you're climbing a cliff or something like that, you're going to get to a point where you are at an actual plateau, because a plateau is actually a real thing, and you're going to be cruising across for a while, like diagonally, not vertically. You're going to be going, not diagonally, you're going to be cruising horizontally for a while to eventually get to another part where you start climbing. But while you're moving across horizontally, does that mean that you're not going anywhere? Absolutely not. And that's how I feel about everything, right? Just because you are at a spot where you have horizontal movement, lateral movement, it doesn't mean that you're not learning, you're not growing, you're not succeeding. It just means that there's no slope to mount right now. But guess what? You're learning and you're preparing. And this is the problem that I see with so many people, is that they do not want to prepare. They only want to show up for the competition. They only want to show up to perform. But the thing is, when we do not practice, when we do not prepare, then it shows in the results that we get. And now you want to get all upset because you did not get the desired results. But the thing is, if you actually desired those results, you would have been working on it. You would have been inspecting and analyzing every single action that you do. Bottom line. I've seen people who get upset because, let's say, there's too much pressure that's being applied, or, we just like our ego can be our best friend or our greatest enemy. In jiu-jitsu, they have this saying that leave your ego at the door, right? And I don't quite agree with that, leaving your ego at the door, and I don't think that's possible. But I think that the better idea is that you should be in control of your ego. To know that, look, you might be a prideful person. You might have and prideful in the sense of like, I want to win and stuff like that. But you need to know where should you be winning and where you should be learning. And that way you can speak to yourself like, okay, this is not the right spot for my ego to be popping up. My ego is with me because I'm proud, right? And that's the same way when we're working on this tech stuff. You could see, like, I was saying this the other day, I can only make pre-recorded video of me, like, I can create a course and say, this is how I do this. And then I cut out all the issues that I had, all the parts where I stumbled. But I said, when I was creating this channel, I said, no. All these people say, go into tech. It's so easy. And I'm like, wait, I've been here for 20 years and it has never been easy. It is hard, but it is fun and it's fulfilling. And I was like, you know what? I am going to actually work on this stuff that people want to get into, and I'm going to learn it. Some of this stuff I have to learn myself, like DevOps. I know some of like stuff, like I know some Docker stuff, never worked on Kubernetes before. And I'm like, I am going to, and for me, who's been in tech for 20 years, and I've been around this technology for God knows how long, right? And I'm like, you know what? I am actually going to stream this information so that you can see, as somebody who's experienced in tech, how I still struggle with it. How I'm still figuring things like, okay. And you'll see me like, I'll learn a command last week and then I come back to it because I haven't worked on it in a week. And I'm like, what is that again? I have to look it up. I have to figure it out again. But tech it's complicated, but it's fun. Like I work with some amazing engineers who they'll hear a problem. They're like, did you think about like, it could be this, it could be that. And their mind just starts working. And I'm like, wow, that is impressive. But it takes years and years and years to actually build up to that level. And a lot of times we come into this space and we're like, I'm going to crush it. And then you get smitten down. By the way, the song Fallen Down is being released as a single on Saturday morning, March 1st, 2025 at 7 a.m. So you definitely want to check that out. That's one of my favorite songs right now. It is being released under Tech Music by Tech Coach Ralph, moi. All right. But back to the topic, right? I think that we don't understand how important failure is. I see, like, whenever I'm working on something and it's not working, it gives me the opportunity to go research. When this Kali Linux crashed, right? And I was doing some investigation. I was like, okay, I can get in here. I try to install this, and it says, there's no disk space. I'm like, the issue is I ran out of disk space. I did not know that. I thought it was because everything was saying, graphic card. And then upon investigation, it says I ran out of disk space. I'm like, wow, that is interesting. So then I tried to say, okay, how can I modify this space? How can I delete something? And I tried, and guess what I ended up doing? I ended up deleting the whole entire file system for that Kali Linux installation. I was like, that's interesting. But guess what? To me, that was the best thing that could ever happen to me. The fact that it crashed was absolutely amazing because it gave me the opportunity to try to troubleshoot it. And then although I destroyed it, guess what I did right after? I installed Candid Linux again right away in the morning while I was getting ready for a jiu-jitsu class because I'm training for competition. And I'm like, okay, I'm gonna go fail here, I'm gonna go fail there, and and sometimes I purposely put myself in bad situations. Like now that I have reinstalled Candid Linux, I said, you know what got us to this issue? I'm gonna try to recreate it so then I can actually figure out this whole disk space thing because I would not want you to be running out of disk space and now you don't know what to do. So let me be the pioneer to pave the way to figure out how does this stuff work. But it all like every single pioneer, they have failed over and over and over and over again. And then once they figure it out, they say, "Oh, look what I figured out." And but a lot of times, people are ungrateful by the work that the pioneers have done. They say, "Oh, they just expected that it should be working," and it doesn't work that way. It doesn't work that way. It is a lot of sleepless nights, sleepless nights, early mornings, trying to figure out this type of stuff. But it is so worthwhile. It is so worthwhile. And that's why I want to tell you how important it is to embrace failure, embrace doing what sucks. Did it feel good that all of us, like, we were on a roll and then all of a sudden Cali didn't stop working on me? It didn't feel good, but did it bother me? No. I was like, okay, well, just another opportunity to try to figure something out. My guy DB Darrow was in the chat. Oh, try this, try that, and we're trying it, and it wasn't working. But guess what? I was like, I live for this. When we get into these crappy situations, that makes my day because I'm like, oh, well, guess what? What if that happened to one of you guys? What would you do? Would you quit learning ethical hacking? Would you quit using Kali Linux because you didn't know what was wrong? No, I Googled it. I researched it. I said, okay, well, how can I increase the disk space? How can I clear some files? I didn't get the answers that I was looking for, and I ended up destroying the system. But guess what? I reinstalled it. I'm like, all right, let's do it again. And now I want to see if I can replicate the crash so that I can fight with it, so I can get it to work. But that's how my mind works. I'm like, I don't like being defeated, but I will be defeated a lot until I come up with a strategy to make it work. So that is my thought behind it. And I'm like, okay, you should embrace failure. You should embrace losing so that you can figure out the right strategy to win. Sometimes I'm helping people with like ideas on how to get into better shape, into weight loss and stuff like that. And they'll be like disappointed with, because they'll have a great few days, right? They have a great few days where they see their weight drops and stuff like that. But then, and then it goes up. And then they're like, oh my God, this is terrible. Like, I feel bad. I'm like, look, wait. You did not fail. It's just data. It is just, and that's why I'm like, for me, I track meticulously in whatever I'm doing, whether I'm helping somebody with weight loss, whether I'm cutting weight myself, because I'm cutting weight right now for competition, whether I'm doing some type of coding stuff and I'm analyzing the logs, whether I'm doing competition and I win, I review the video, I lose, I review the video. I do not care because I'm like, I need the data. I need to know what's wrong. And then once I figure out what's wrong, I build out an action plan, a strategy to be able to address those flaws that I have and to be able to address the flaws that you might have. So going back real quick to this weight loss example, I'll tell the person, like, don't get discouraged about that, right? This is just data for us to re-strategize so we can try to fix whatever went wrong. So let's look at the days where things went right and what we did on those days, and we look at the days where things went wrong and see, okay, what are the factors that caused it to go wrong? And now let's go ahead and make adjustments to try to adjust to those days, like to the conditions of those days, so that we can continue having positive results. Do we need some additional tools? Do we need some additional devices in order to help us be successful? My number one goal is success. That is it, right? I want you to win. I want you to win the right way, of course, but I want you to win, and I want to help you with that. I was talking to another person, right? Another good friend of mine, and I was like, okay, what would you say is your biggest challenge? And they were like, time management. I said, okay, you know what? Pop quiz. Can I see your calendar? Let me see your Google Calendar. And it was empty. That calendar was so empty, it would get arrested for indecent exposure. It was so empty, it would get charged with first degree public nudity, because that's how empty that calendar was. And I said, okay, well, if you have trouble with time management, I guess we got to do something about that. I guess we have to get your calendar all dressed up, all dolled out. But that's how I work. I'm like, I am like, if you see, I will own like, I don't honestly, I don't beat people up, right? I beat myself up. I don't beat people up. Well, maybe in jiu-jitsu I do, but I don't beat people up. Why? Like, and what do I mean by that? So, if you are willing to do the work, right? If you're willing to do the work, then I'm like, all right, let's do it. I'll encourage you. If you are not willing to do the work, then I just won't talk to you. I'm like, okay, well, or I won't talk to you about this particular topic. I'm like, okay, well, you can. I will not participate in your loser dumb, right? If you want to win, if you want victory, album on all major streaming platforms, Victory by Tech Coach Ralph, right? But if you want victory, then I will work closely with you and we will strategize, we'll investigate, and we'll make things work, right? But if you just want to cry and pout and throw a hissy fit, then you know what? I am not the one for you. As my favorite runner-up said, do not come. All right, I am not for everybody. I am for those who want to be successful and who want to win. That's it. That's it. And those that I interact with on a regular basis, it is because I see the mindset and the spirit brewing within them. But I swear, if they were to change that up and like, oh well, I just want to cry, I just want to run in the victim Olympics, I would say, well, I guess this is my cue to exit stage right or stage left. I don't know, but I just don't do that type of stuff. I'm like, well, if you want to cry, complain, moan, etc., then you can go do that over there. But over here, we are focused on strategy and growth and success and winning. We're going to win, win, win. All right. That's how I see it. There's no other way. So if you have that, if you have that winning mindset, then I would love to work with you. You can join the Tech Coach Ralph Patreon, techcoachralph.dev, where you will and exclusive content. Right, I have to upload a sprint review for everybody and a scrum night for the Tech Barbarians for the tiered Patreon members. But I also opened the Discord exclusively for Patreon members, technical explorers and up, and it will once you connect your Discord to Patreon, it'll zoom you right into the Patreon, and then you can join the conversation. I have a group in there right now that I am like lightly overseeing, but they are smart adults who can take care of things themselves. They have built a group that they are learning Python together. I think they're on I think one person's like on day 6 and the other person is like on day 3 and the other person's like on day 1, but they're working together, they're catching up. And I say, you know what? As you guys learn this stuff, start thinking about how you guys can build something together, so that you can grow and you can expand, and your mind is not limited to just what this course tells you. You can start thinking outside the box, and I'm in there. I'm like, I'm not directly involved in all the little details, but I can see that and I can answer questions. I'm about to do office hours right now, and I can see that I can answer questions. So my point is that there are so many things that are possible, but you have to embrace failing. And I've seen people fail over and over and over again, but the ones who are successful are the ones who get up and they try again. All right. And when I say try again in the right things, because like if you try to be successful in a thing that is not successful, you are just causing yourself much hurt. But there are so many opportunities out there, especially with the way that the AI field is growing. There's going to be opportunities for software engineering. There's going to be opportunities for cybersecurity, for cloud computing, for cloud engineering, for QA, so many different things, right, that are going to be available. And I'm like, all right, you have to properly prepare for all of that. All right. You're going to fail, embrace it, enjoy it, and use that to fuel your victory. Every time somebody says that you can't, you will have to go out there and destroy it and show them that you did. Don't say that I can. If they tell you that you can't, shut up and show them that you did. Just show it to them. That's it. That is my strategy. That's what I do. I don't talk, I show. I don't talk, I show. All right? But that's it for today. Thank you guys so much for tuning in to another episode of Candid Conversations, hosted by your truly Tech Coach Ralph, where we're injured to win. Do me a big favor on your way out. Check out techcoachralph.dev, where you can sign up to be a tiered Patreon member. You can also sign up for a free account, but you don't get as much of the great access to the features like the Team Tech Drop Discord, where we're in there every single day working hard. Like I said, I have a group of people learning Python together. And I think Python is one of the most important languages you can learn. So I would say if you have not done so, sign up and join the Discord and learn Python with this amazing group of individuals. And you can also get one-on-one coaching with me where we can run it up together. All right. Other things to mention, like the video, share the video, subscribe to the channel, hit the notifications so you know every time we go live and drop new content. Also, if you haven't done so already, take the traumatic brain injury questionnaire/assessment. It was created by my dear cousin who was in a biking accident last year and suffered a traumatic brain injury, and she is dealing with it. She's recovering from it, but she noticed that there is a lack of knowledge information on TBI. She is a mathematician and a system engineer, so she is collecting data and she wants to be able to produce content to help people who suffer from a traumatic brain injury to be able to cope with it and to help the loved ones of people who suffer from a traumatic brain injury know how to help their loved one. All right. So that is everything. Thank you guys so much for tuning in to another episode of Candid Conversations, hosted by your shitty Tech Drop, where we are engineering to win. We're out of here. You guys have an amazing Monday and an amazing rest of your week. Tech Drop, we are out.
I saw you leaving without a trace. Empty chair in a crowded space. Grief like a river, it won't erase. Hope's just a ghost I can't embrace. Knocking on hearts, seeking a friend. Faces change, but the pain won't bend. They can't fill the void you left behind. Each time I search, it's you I don't find. Echoes of emptiness fill my night. Every shadow just a trick of the light. I reach for hands that aren't there. Haunted by a love we can't share. Talking to strangers as if they knew. Asking the dawn why it feels so blue. Building walls but they all break down. Lost in the noise of a bustling town. Every smile a borrowed disguise. Tears hidden behind weary eyes. Wandering through this hollow maze. Chasing a past that forever stays. Echoes of emptiness fill my night. Every shadow just a trick of the light. I reach for hands that aren't there. Haunted by a love we can't share. Every smile a borrowed disguise. Tears hidden behind weary eyes. Wandering through this hollow maze. Chasing a past that forever stays.